pull up the intraday chart out there, and even something like an LIC Housing Finance has spiked up, just in the last 10-15 minutes odd. But earnings season, that's almost upon us, and that's going to be the key trigger going ahead. And IT biggies like Infosys and TCS, they'll kickstart Q4 earnings tomorrow. And ahead of that, Rima is going to tell us the key expectations. Rima, over to you.
And interestingly, this time, both Infosys and TCS will be declaring numbers on the same day. And coincidentally, the company which comes out with numbers first, it used to be the one who used to report superior metrics. So earlier it was Infosys, then it was TCS, which coincided with the time when TCS numbers look better than Infosys, and now again they're going head-to-head. So interesting times. But this is otherwise a seasonally weak quarter, but we are expecting a steady quarter on the back of the recent deal wins announced by the companies. Margins could be under pressure, one, on account of the INR appreciation, and secondly, on account of the supply-side challenges. Now, the key to track will be on FY20. Will FY20 growth be better than what we saw in FY19? And secondly, will margins be under pressure? For one, the rupee has appreciated a fair bit. Now it's at levels of 69. We've got supply-side challenges, the need for digital investments. So all that is putting pressure on the company margins. For FY20, consensus is that Infi growth will be superior to that of TCS. So on to Infi and what they could potentially guide for. 8 to 10%, which would compare with the 8.5 to 9% guidance that they'd given for FY19. So no real acceleration, but the street believes 8 to 10 could be on the conservative side. The big question will be whether Infi trims its margin guidance, because apart from the INR appreciation supply issues, Infi is also battling very high attrition, and they will need to make those investments to bring that down. And so that's the reason why the street expects Infi margins could be lower by 100 basis points. HCL Tech is the other IT company which comes out with an annual guidance. The expectation is 14 to 16%. X of the IBM, the guidance could be 8.5 to 10.5%. The margin guidance will be unchanged at 19.5 to 20.5%. In terms of commentary, one on BFSI, because the recent indicator suggests that BFSI growth is plateauing out. Europe has been growing quite well for the company. The retail commentary has been upbeat, and growth has been driven, one, on deal wins, and secondly on digital being such a growth driver. So whether that continues will also be tracked. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Rima. Thanks so much for that. Well, on that note, let's also listen in from insights that came in from some of our analysts that joined in earlier today.
4.7 billion has been announced for 9 months. I think this quarter you will see a much significant number, maybe around 2.2, 2.3 billion of announcement for this quarter. And I think the momentum is back in the sector, and Infosys has well prepared itself for this kind of growth. So we are very optimistic on Infosys and also the sector itself.
My sense is that going into next year, my view is that there could be contract profitability issues for the company, in the sense that there's been a very solid growth for the company from a TCV perspective. Total contract value added has been almost double that of last year if you look at a 9 months to 9 months perspective. But my sense is that some of that would have probably come at the expense of margins. So I do expect something like a 100 basis point cut in the margin guidance between 22 to 24. I think will probably move to 21 to 23.
Well, how do you trade the Nifty from here? That's the question. We're more or less flattish as we speak, holding at around 11,580 odd. Ashwini Gujral and Rajat Bose join us to give us their midday calls, both on the Nifty as well as on the Nifty Bank. Ashwini, let's come across to you first. How do you trade the Nifty at around these levels? Yesterday we had a bit of a downtick, some profit booking. Today we're holding as flat as can be. Is this dip giving a buying opportunity?
See, the market does not have to move in order to make money. And a 30-point market move, say from 11,570 to 600, is more than enough to make money. For the moment, we are not breaking 550 thereabouts. And since yesterday, we've been trying to break that, but failing. So my sense would be that there should be short covering going into the close, and both Nifty, Bank Nifty could close at the high point of the day. So this is a good time to get long on both these indices. Having said that, individual stocks, I think HPCL is a buy with a stop of 255, target of 272. Muthoot Finance is a buy with a stop of 606, target of 624. And Reliance Capital is a sell with a stop of 181, target of 168.
Ashwini, any thoughts on SpiceJet?
See, in that space, the best stock I like is Indigo. So buy that on all declines. I don't think SpiceJet quite has that sort of momentum.
Okay, all right. Let's get in Rajat's picks then. Rajat, tell us your view on the Nifty, as well as fill us in with your trading strategies.
Nifty, looking at the intraday chart, and if that is anything to go by, then there is a likelihood of upsurge at least to 625, 630 kind of levels. So if one were to buy here, then put a stop loss below 11,545 and keep a target of 11,625 to about 11,630. That is the kind of intraday trade that one can envisage. And regarding the Bank Nifty, it has actually turned around from a critical support level that is around 29,660. I would put a stop loss below that level, that is 29,650 would be my stop loss, and I would be waiting for 29,900 to about 29,950 at the close. And regarding the stocks, I've chosen two consumption stocks. One is Hindustan Lever, which is a positional call. You put a stop loss below 1690 and keep a target of 1740 to 1750. And Voltas, I would put a stop loss below 611.50. I would prefer to buy slightly lower, maybe 617, 616 kind of levels, and keeping a target of 625 to 628. Again, it's a two-day call.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining in. Financials are actually moving higher. So you've got Manappuram, Max Financial, Diwan Housing, and outside of the financial space, keep your eye out on Petronet LNG. That's a stock which is also moving up. Let's get in the early rates from the European markets. Remember, the ECB is maintaining a status quo on its rates. The Brexit summit is in focus. UK as well as European Union have agreed to extending or having a flexible deadline of 31st of October when it comes to UK exiting European Union. It's a raft of news that we're getting in from the region. The opening is on the flatter side. The French index is higher by close to about 0.5%.